If you knew what kind of a flipping night I have had, the last 7 minutes would make complete sense to you. I mean, quite honestly, the analysis in silence is probably way better for you, quite honestly. Wow. Here's this right here for most of you will one question. This question right here. If you can answer this question, then you're going to understand what kind of night I've had. Why do the fire alarm batteries always fail at 3 o'clock in the morning? What is it about fire alarm batteries, smoke detector batteries, the carbon monoxide batteries? Why do they only stop working at 3 o'clock in the morning? That's what kind of night I've had. I'm going on about 2 hours of sleep. I've said many curse words in the last 4 hours, trying to get that damn smoke detector to shut the hell up. And at some point, I just gave up. My wife went and got on the couch. She put a box fan right next to her head. She turned on the TV on YouTube and put on white noise at like 100 volume. And I just came down to the office and waited until I had to get on the live stream. And then obviously my brain's not working because I didn't even turn my mic on for the first 10 minutes of the stream. So there you go. So that's fun. Fun times. Fun times. Shall we start over? Welcome to the 10K to $2 million funding challenge. It's Tuesday, October 3rd. It's 6:10 a.m. and for the last 10 minutes, I've been talking to myself. Good morning, world. Oh, jeez Louise, man. Now I have one of those sleep-deprived headaches. Those pissed off, I didn't get any sleep, but now I have to get up and function headaches. Sucks. All right. You know what? I don't really want to go through all that again. You saw what I was doing. You understand what I was saying. I know you do. Here's the setups I'm looking at. And here's why. So there you go. I'm looking to sell Eurodollar. I'm looking to sell pound dollar. DXY still very bullish. There's no reason to change my bias on that. I'm looking to sell GJ, potentially buy UJ, waiting for some displacement on pound Aussie now that we've reached up into the weekly fair value gap from last week. As soon as pound Aussie flips around, I will be targeting these lows down here, looking for sells all the way down to that. I did point out my gold trade yesterday here that we called out on the live stream No one took it. Sadly, I didn't take it because I don't trade gold. But that's what's happening right now. So anyway, I'm looking to sell euro dollar. If it comes back up into this 10-minute order block, and I don't know that it's going to. It may just want to fall off a cliff. We have news at 10 o'clock today. We have some JOLTS job opening news at 10 o'clock. If I get a setup here and can get in this morning early, I'll look to do that. Currently, you're getting some displacement now here down through these this little 15-minute breaker right here, and there's some obvious selling pressure. I would kind of like to see a deeper dig back up into this, a little bit of a premium, and then continue to fall, but we'll see what happens. Pound yen as well. I would like to see a pull back up. What is going on with these stinking charts, man? Every time I go to one, it freezes. I have to close it, reload it, and I don't know what is happening with this. So this GJ, I really do kind of like this sell setup right here. We missed GJ yesterday, but I don't want to miss it again. So I would like to see a sell. 80, where is this? $188.86. And I put my stop up above the bodies there, and I would target. $390. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that sell limit right there. $188.86. That's the sell order I'm looking for. 181.117 is the stop. And the 184.10. That's the TP. All right. That's what I'm looking for on GJ here. We'll see if she cooperates. Sell order set. Oh man. All right. Euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar, USDJ, GP, GA here. Okay, so that's good. So we're looking at, we're going to sit here and watch GJ, see if we can get triggered in. And then we'll make a low and aim for these 4-hour liquidity runs down here. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. My goodness, you could not have had a better start to the stream today, I don't think. Could not have had a better start. So you know what the best thing to do is just to go over here to chat and let's just read through all the commentary on the silent opening, shall we? Mr. Partha G, hello, good morning. Mr. Alfie, good morning, welcome in. JewFX, good morning. Chase, what's going on? Alpha Bridge, welcome in. And here it begins. Brad, your mic is muted. I can't hear him either. What's up, Ezekiel? No audio. He will have to do all of this again. All the LOLs. I wonder when he'll notice. Not soon enough. It would be rude if someone said I liked it better this way. And on cue, I like it better this way. No audio. See? Thank you. It is better when there's no audio. Can anyone read lips with a Texan accent? It was, Kirby did not keep me up. Shockingly, it was not Kirby's fault. Unless Kirby was lighting matches up by the smoke detector or something at 3 o'clock in the morning. Dominic, I'm an electrician. I don't know what model it is. The ultimate solution was I just took it off the ceiling, unplugged it, and I smashed it into about 100 pieces. And I'm going to have to go get another one today. That was the ultimate solution. I did not smash it. I did take it down, though. We should start with mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're here. I wonder how your candles get that beautiful color they have. The blue and the pink. I don't know what the colors they are. Somebody asks this quite often. Let me see. There you go. There's the colors. The down closed candle is, I don't know what color that is. Kind of a purple violet. The up closed candles is the blue right next to it. And they're all the same after that. So good luck. Your wife must be so mad at you. I realize it's not your fault, but since I'm married as well, I know she thinks it's your fault. So she shot up in bed like someone was like literally in our bedroom ready to murder us when that thing went off. And so immediately I shoot up in bed. I'm like, what the hell's going on? The adrenaline that kicks in from a dead sleep, that is the most miserable feeling in the world. Your brain is not working and functioning and processing reality yet. So you're still kind of functioning in dreamland, but you're trying, okay, I'm awake, but why am I awake? What is happening? Why is it happening? How can I make it stop? It is, and then you've got that your blood pressure shoots sky high. Like there's so much just adrenaline coursing through your body. Oh God, it was sucked so bad. Yeah, that is truly number 5,438 on the list of things you need to apologize to your wife for. 100%, sir. You are accurate. You are accurate. What's up, Beastwax? What is up? All right. We're about to get triggered in on GJ shorts here. We will... I still want to see these lows get run down here. And that's what we will be anticipating. GU... if it gets pulled back up in there, you will have an entry there, but it looks like GJ is going to get triggered in first, which is fine. But this would be a nice little breaker setup in here on GU. I would want to use probably this 30-minute right here. There's a nice little 30-minute breaker. 30-minute fair value gap right here. I would be probably targeting an entry, something like this. And you still have room before you get to the swing level down here, just above our monthly fair value gap. So this monthly fair value gap is what has held price up. I'm anticipating it coming back down into the bodies of these candles and retest this monthly here. And so that's where we're looking. GJ, not quite tagged in yet. We still have a little bit of work to do there. We need this blue line to get up above so that we can get that spread to trigger us in there. And we're not quite there yet. Oh my gosh. That is just a crazy morning. Crazy morning. Pound Aussie, though, I would be looking for a break of structure from here. I want to see some displacement outside of this weekly fair value gap. This is the fair value gap created from last week's candle. We talked about this on the stream yesterday, and I had said any move back into this fair value gap, I would look to sell Pound Aussie and look for the relative equal lows that were created last week. That's your initial target on liquidity. So this swing level did not get taken out last week. We created relative equal lows down there. We left it in place. We're reaching back up inside that fair value gap. It can come all the way up into the wick of this candle. So it can come all the way up into that. And there's actually a volume imbalance just above that. So we're just going to be watching for price to reverse out of this area. And once it breaks some structure with displacement on the 15-minute, we would be looking for a market maker sell model to be in effect. So you've got the smart money reversal, and you're going to wait for confirmation that we're ready to return and start creating levels all the way down to these lows. So we'll just wait. We will just wait. But yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Sitting and waiting, doing nothing, just watching and anticipating where, in line with our bias, where price might want to reverse to. It's tapped up into this breaker right here. It's come back up into it. But this 30-minute setup is the one that I would be looking to see what happens as price comes back up into those levels there. Oh my gosh. I need to go back to bed after this stream. I need to go back to bed and I just need to start over. That's what I need to do, is just go back to bed and start over. Because this day is set against me. What's up, Cisco? Welcome in. David Dreves, welcome in. Is GJ in active order? It is in active order. I am waiting for this order on GJ to get triggered in. And it's getting close. It's just not quite there yet. Getting close. Still not triggered in. I need it to get above for the spread to get in. Excuse me one moment. When your wife calls you from the bedroom. Oh my Lord. What is happening? Oh. Golly. What a crappy morning. Just life is just happening. Life does not want me to life today, for whatever reason. Life does not want me to life today. And that's unfortunate because things happen and life must happen. So, all right, we're still not quite triggered in here on this on this retrace. We're still not in. You clearly didn't apologize. No apologies. There we go. We're triggered in there. All right, we're active on the GJ trade. Murphy's Law, yeah, absolutely. It's Murphy's Law, 100%. No doubt about it. It is Murphy's Law. If something bad can happen, it certainly will. It certainly will. All right. There we go. So getting a little bit of pullbacks here on GU now, which is fine. Coming up into this breaker, I would anticipate GU sells around this area. EU sells, if we got them, maybe up in there, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see what all is going to play out and how it's going to play out. So dollar is just a little bit of weakness. Hasn't taken out the London high yet. Oh, no, that's not London high. Yeah, it is. London high. Coming back up into it. So still anticipating price to roll over there. So maybe you should rename it Kirby's Law. Yeah. Gosh. Kirby's Law. Kirby's just always trying to screw with us. Good evening, Saeem. Welcome in, my friend. Saeem, did I see in Discord that you hit some big R winners, or were those not live trades? I couldn't remember what you were saying there, so I didn't spend a ton of time in the Discord to figure it out, so. Demo, I caught one on Bespoke with just 0.1 lot. Are those demo just because it's a new strategy and you didn't want to, you were just testing it, or was it you just needed to, you just been taking a break due to the drawdown issues? Excuse me. Hello. What is happening? What in the world is going on with my trading view? All right, let me just, I need to reload trading view. I don't know why it's doing all this. I was trying to draw boxes here on a breaker and it just wouldn't show me the tool. Not a bad setup on the indexes here. They've taken out buy side. They're just starting to display slower on all of these. Come on. These are all nice, decent setups building up here. I'd probably put it above the buys of these candles there. All right. What's up, Shadow Trades? Welcome in. I will be doing demo for some days as I need some live market data. Gotcha. I just integrated Breaker with my strategy to Forex, and it's magic. I had just one stop loss for the last 5 to 6 days, 11 TP so far with a 1 to 2, hoping for the best. That sounds like a great combination of strategies there. You should put it in the chat strat so everyone can do their own testing with it to see how it goes. So I'm sure others would appreciate that. But those are pretty good statistics for a small sample size currently. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Reaching back up into this. We're at a premium level of our last leg down of the dealing range that we're currently in. We reached up into an OTE. We have left the daily low in place. I'm still anticipating price to come down into this 4-hour swing level, daily swing level here. We'll see. All right. I need to go. My wife says it's beeping. Something else is beeping. I need to go check and see what else is beeping. So I'm going to step away from the charts for a minute. Wish me luck. If I'm not back in like 10 minutes, then it's been nice knowing y'all. And good luck with the rest of your trading careers. I'm just kidding. I will be back. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. So stand by. John, entertain the chat, please. All right. I think it's situated, but I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. All right, GJ needs to roll over here. So we can. I mean, this is just the way the day is going, quite honestly. So this GU trade, I do kind of like the reversal spot here. From this pullback, we've had a run of buy-side liquidity. We've displaced lower, coming back up into the 30-minute fair value gap here. The dollar is showing a bit of weakness. If the dollar pulls back again, this, you didn't hear me say this. No one heard me say this. But I did do the analysis. This 4-hour breaker right here is where, if we get any kind of dollar rollover, this is where I would anticipate dollar to find support to continue higher here. So this fair value gap with this breaker, these last two up close candles here on the dollar chart, last two up close candles. Why is it doing that? And then we ran sell side liquidity. So we took out this swing low, we took out this swing low, and then we have displaced higher. And now that we've displaced higher here, we can anticipate any kind of pullback from this area to find some support somewhere down in this spot right off of this breaker. So if the dollar does, again, find some support there, that's where we would anticipate the support levels to come in. GJ just looks like it wants to rip higher here with our stop loss in sight with no opportunity to pull back. Again, typically when I'm wrong right away on these breakers. When the setup does not work, it does not work right away. And it doesn't typically hang around and produce drama. Like, it's just, no, we're going to rip the Band-Aid right off, which appears to be the case for this move here. Pound is definitely showing some strength here. Overall, just in general. So let's see what's going on with that chat. Muhammad, give a quick overview of your strategy. Your best dad jokes. Yeah, let's hear some best dad joke. How to Cayman Talks dad jokes. Muhammad says higher time frame liquidity. Sweep of the 5 minute. Higher time frame sweep. A 5 minute breaker. Rejection from the breaker with candle closure. Stop above the breaker. A 1 to 2 target or a 1 extension, fib extension. Discovered it at uni, but after some time I stopped due to lack of funds. That's Cisco's intro. Mr. Alfie, my fave dad joke at the moment is I have a friend who's dating a girl who identifies as a wheelie bin, but can't remember if he's taking her out on Tuesday or Wednesday evening. Oh my gosh. Beeswax says, I'm not sure my wife is satisfied with my body. A small part of me. Beeswax wins. Beeswax wins. I always forget my favorite jokes whenever it's time to share them. I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of the same on that. Uh, there is I keep notes because I like to, it drives my kids crazy like a good father should. I need to pull up where's my notes? I keep some dad jokes, some good dad jokes. How have we never gotten to dad jokes on the stream before? Oh my gosh. Oh, here you go. Okay. What do rich people say when they tickle their babies? Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. Oh, gosh. This is relevant to trading in some ways. I just finished reading a book called How to Avoid Getting Ripped Off. Best $500 I've ever spent. I just finished a trading mentorship program. How to trade and never lose. Best $1,000 I've ever spent on a trading course. My wife says the salads I make tend to be a bit on the dry side. It's definitely something that needs addressing. Oh, gosh. Why can't pirates finish the alphabet? They get lost at sea. Oh my gosh. To start a zoo, you need at least 2 pandas, a grizzly, and a polar bear. It's the bare minimum. People call me self-centered, but that's enough about them. I always carry a picture of my wife and kids in my wallet. I do it to remind myself why there's no money in there. All right, that's enough dad jokes. I could keep going. Currently, this trade is a joke. My gosh. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it leaves you and never... Oh my gosh. Nice, Aim. Yeah, taking all my jokes before I could type them. Yeah, just go to their... they have an Instagram or Facebook page. You can go and just check them out. They're pretty freaking hilarious. Appears the GU trade is the one that I should have been more focused on there. Pretty classic setup right here. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, fair value gap, breaker structure, breaker, order block, OTE. Line it all up. Set them up and knock them down. Kids are always going to complain about dad jokes. It's funny because my friends that tell them dad jokes, they laugh at them. But when I tell them, they tell me to shut up. That's what they do. All right, the 7 o'clock candle about to close out here. We shall see. It's left some relative equal lows below us. I don't have the best feeling in the world about our current GJ position here with this strong hourly close. Technically, it's an inside candle, so we're still inside the dealing range. We'll see. I have a feeling it's not going to want to help us out here. But we'll hold it. We will hold it. It's is what it is here. GU needs a rejection, and GJ is not the best one. Yeah, the GU is, reaching up into that 30-minute fair value gap off of this breaker. Probably a better setup than the GJ trade. GJ got triggered in first. I really like to see pound Aussie start to come over off of this weekly fair value gap now. It's finding some resistance. We just need it to find some displacement is what we need. The indexes are falling off. If the Australian dollar could find some strength there, that would be most helpful there. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I am, Simon. We're in on the GJ trade. We're just sitting around waiting. If it breaks a new low down here, we'll go to break even. But my anticipation, based on current price action, is that it's going to run to buy side liquidity up here. I wanted it to run this 4-hour liquidity here, but it looks like it wants to stop short, pick up some more buy side, and then run that. So thought we got some displacement off of these highs here. So that's fine. The good part about losing this trade, which I'm fairly confident is going to happen, is that we will finish out this 75 episode playlist of this 100K account. We've been on this 100K challenge for nearly 3 months, and over 3 months, I think now. So it'll be nice to wipe it off and start fresh, quite honestly. That would be the end. That is correct. Coffee, water, I need ibuprofen and Tylenol. What a day, y'all. What a day. We have some news coming out for the dollar at 10, some JOLTS job openings. Doesn't really affect anything with the pound yen pair here. So if we can get the, we need the pound to pull off and we need the dollar to start strengthening, I think. But it does appear that we just want to rip higher. This 30-minute fair value gap right here, if this candle closes outside of that, then I would, we're definitely not on the right side of the market here. If the body of that can close inside, then maybe we still get some pullback here, but that's not the anticipation. If you get stopped out on GJ, yeah, we just answered that. New series would be awesome. Bespoke are running another good offer for October. Yep. But not with ACAP. Correct. It wouldn't be with ACAP. They're no longer using ACAP. It's all Think Markets now. They're working on another broker. I have no idea who it is they're trying to bring on. I'll find out when everybody else finds out. I would, I'll use my own affiliate link and I'll use the better discount code. Y'all are more than welcome to use the Venator discount code with Bespoke for sure. It definitely supports the stream. But even if you don't use the Venator discount code, you can use the Venator link in my YouTube bio. And that is the same thing. You can take advantage of the actual monthly discount that they are offering everyone currently, which I think is like 17% or something. Yeah, the ACAP execution on Bespoke has been outstanding for sure. It has. The ACAP execution they're just getting ahead of the game because ACAP is been at the center of many of the prop firm issues across the industry. So they're just, I think, just cutting ties early with that and just being like, look, we're not going to be affiliated with this firm that has been at the front and center of market manipulation, slippage, all that kind of stuff for these firms that are now facing some regulatory issues. ACAP is the broker that the prop firm Bespoke Funding uses to provide liquidity to all of their accounts. Think Markets is another broker, like AMP is a broker, or whatever other futures broker you might have. These are just Forex brokers. I got drunk and then got my picture taken, so that way when I get pulled over for drunk driving, I look the same as on my license. Oh, jeez. All right, we're into the 8 o'clock hour here. The 30-minute fair value gap was respected. I still don't have a ton of confidence in it, just based on current market price action on lower time frames. I'm not feeling super good about this trade. You now have, on lower time frames, you have some fair value gaps that have been disrespected. It did leave behind a BPR in multiple areas here, but I would anticipate that as this hour candle opens, you get a push up, and this stop gets run here on this hourly candle. That would be my anticipation. but we'll see. The, you know, if we can get some displacement here and find some weakness on the pound, and we see some displacement here on pound Aussie, you might have a decent selling opportunity here on pound Aussie. I just don't have strong confidence now in how aggressively this ran back up. It's still in the OTE. It is into this order block on the 15-minute time frame. It did respect that last 30-minute fair value gap. It has respected it. It wicked up into it. I just don't. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to do anything different. I'm not going to trade my trade. The way I manage trades is not going to change. There's nothing to do. This is either going to hit stop loss or it's going to give me an opportunity to get to break even. Those are the only two possible outcomes on GJ right now. A stop loss or an opportunity to get to break even. And I'm more inclined to think on current price action that the stop loss will be taken. Iron Beam. I've never heard of Iron Beam. In my country, Binance is the most popular one. Dude, it is pouring down rain here. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It is dropping hard outside. Only reason I would prefer your code still is that in the long run, the profit still on yours would return me more money. The 85% profit split long term is a pretty nice offer. And 2% doesn't necessarily, I mean, it adds up. And I mean, if you're going to buy a $400K account for $1,800, that extra 2% can make a bit of a difference there. So. A cow pissing on a flat rock. That's what it sounds like outside right now. That's quite the Kansas City expression, John. This opening, this hourly opening candle here, where you're getting your push down and getting a wick to put in. And I'm guessing this is where GJ reverses and heads higher off of that last body candle wick right there. That would be my guess. And there it goes. That was a nice wick test there on the hourly candle. Push down, leaving a bottom wick, and it's probably going to just rip higher pretty quickly here, I would think. Did you really, or are you just riffing, John? Because we're not ever really totally 100% sure about how much truth is in any of the statements you make about your biographical life. Did you really? Okay. He's sticking to it, so I'm going to trust him on that one. John's probably talking about his children. Oh, gosh. Kids are often very much like cattle. That's not totally out of the realm of reality when describing your children. What have I ever said that ain't true? What have you ever said that's not true? I'm sure we can come up with something. You've said Kansas City barbecue is the best barbecue in the world. We all know that's not true. The only thing that our European friends would say that you incorrectly label soccer as soccer, not football. What else? I'm sure there's something else. Chat will recall. Your name for one? Oh gosh. Yeah, GU is looking pretty nice there. If we can, we need GU to show quite a bit of weakness that will help our GJ trade. John Jones, that's my real name. I actually do believe that's his real name. From what I've seen, I do believe that's his real name. John more than Bones Jones. I thought it was John Hangdong Jones. Wasn't it John Hangdong Jones? I thought that's what it was. It was Hangdong. That's what it was. Excuse me. Excuse me. My kids and I, that reminded me, my kids and I got into a discussion the other day about movies that could not be made today. Movies that were made in the last, 20, 30 years or whatever. Well, probably longer than that. But movies that they would never make again today just because of culture and politics and such. And there's a Mel Brooks movie. Most of Mel Brooks movies probably would never be made again today. But there's a Mel Brooks movie called Blazing Saddles. It's a parody on, it's a comedy on the culture that we live in. And it just goes after all of the politically incorrect things and racism, bigotry. I mean, just if you name it, it's going to cross the line and purposefully be offensive to every culture and race and ethnicity and gender. It is a movie that would never, ever be able to be made today. But it is hilarious. Hilarious. You should not let your kids watch it. It is definitely only intended for a mature adult audience to be able to understand and appreciate the comedy as it pokes fun at so many. It's a Western. It's an old Western. It's called Blazing Saddles. And if you've never seen it, you should watch it. It is now, if you are someone who is very politically correct and is easily offended by pointing out, I don't know, if you can't laugh at yourself, if you take yourself very seriously, you should not watch it. But if you like parody and you like social commentary that is intentionally poking fun at, different things, I highly recommend you watch Blazing Saddles, because you'll never see a movie like that ever again be made. And it's true comedy. It's just hilarious. Tropic Thunder, another one. It's more of a newer one, but Robert Downey Jr. as a blackface soldier in Vietnam would never, ever, ever be allowed to be made again today. But pretty funny. Many Disney kids movies, they should never be made again. You're right. In fact, the Disney kids movies that they're remaking, they're trying to wash them and clean them up and remove all of the bad things that they just were completely, ignorant of when all those movies came out originally. I'd really just kind of like to see this stop loss get hit quickly so that we can I can go back to bed and start to stay over. Richard Pryor was a primer. Was he really? I thought that was all Mel Brooks. I didn't realize Richard Pryor wrote a lot of that. It's interesting. Tropic Thunder, yeah, one of those movies that can't be made today for sure. A lot of the Monty Python movies. There's several Monty Python movies that would never probably be able to be made again today either. No way to clean Disney's Song of the South. Yeah, not likely. Well, it's nice to see the losing streak stay intact. It's one streak that we can hold claim to. It's today giveaway. No, the giveaway will be on Friday. Friday will be the next giveaway. Biggest dickus. I don't think I've ever seen that movie, John, Song of the South. I'm familiar with the song, but I don't think I've ever seen the movie. And as anticipated, the 30-minute wick test there right off of that order block rocketed price higher. It's going to run this buy-side liquidity before it decides it wants to roll over and take out that longer, higher time frame sell side. We did not get the continuation down to run that. Unfortunate. That's just the way it goes. We'll chalk. I mean, the stop loss hasn't been hit, but it's going to get hit here probably in the next 5-10 minutes. Which, yeah, it is what it is. Not worried about it. In fact, like I said, I'm kind of glad to be done with this chapter of the $10K to $2 million funding challenge. It's been such a long grind for these 3 months. It has been truly the longest 3 months of trading in the last 2 years that I've experienced. And there's a part of me that's just like, I'm glad to be done with it. I mean, you when you take those losses and when you turn the page, there's just a refreshing restart that happens psychologically. The reinvigoration of just, you have that new flat account. I'm not happy. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm going to be doing a jig that we took a loss, but there is a part of me, the silver lining, I guess is what I'm saying. The silver lining of it all is that I feel glad. Like I traded and executed the trades that I wanted throughout these 3 months in a very professional manner. I did not waver from the execution. There were a couple of mistakes of red folder news days. The thing I'm probably more frustrated with is all of the accuracy of which many of our breakers actually worked, and we just got completely swerved by a pip or a pipette on our entries. Those are the ones that I'm probably more frustrated with through this whole process, because I mean, we had probably 4 or 5 trades that should have been, full TPs that we just didn't get our entry on. And that's probably the most frustrating part about these last 3 months, is getting swerved on accurate trade calls. So glad once this gets run, which it still very, I'm still very confident that stop loss is just going to get wrecked here in just a few minutes based on current price action. Then we'll start over, and if it gets run today, I'll load up a new 10K account, and we'll be back in tomorrow with a brand new fresh 10K, a new playlist. Thank God, because who's actually going to go sit down and watch 75 videos of someone trading for 3 months and not making any progress? That's miserable. Absolutely miserable. I should just delete those. No, I won't. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the documentation of how this process plays out, which is why I'm doing it, is to document the whole thing, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the good trades, the bad trades, the good analysis, the bad analysis, the patience, the discipline. All of it is meant and here for us to learn and grow together. So again, it's frustrating to sit here and watch your that this is frustrating, Sal. I wish I would just run it and be done with it, but that's the plan. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Yeah. In Song of the South, a white boy visits his grandmother's plantation and meets Uncle Remus, who tells him stories about Briar Rabbit, Briar Fox, and Briar Bear. This song, Zippity Doo Dah, is from that. Oh, yeah. Zippity doo dah, zippity day. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Yeah. There you go. Maybe I have seen it and I just don't remember. I know the song and I know those Briar Rabbit, Briar Fox, Briar Bear. I am familiar with that. Would it be bad of me to say the worst thing in the world would be to win this trade and prolong? Not that I would love to be able to get out of drawdown. I think it would be fantastic. But there's a part of me that desperately wants. This is the part of trading, the psychology, the mindset that you're always going to be dealing with, even as someone who's funded and profitable, and there's still a part of you when you're in this situation that you see the relief, and it's almost like this mercy killing of like, let's just be done with this and move on. What have I learned? You know, what is it that I've taken to heart and tried to, you know, if you're not learning from your losses, if you're not learning from your lost accounts, lost challenges, lost funded accounts, if you're not learning something, then you're not doing this the right way. There are some things I've learned that I need to pay attention better to the news because there were some red folder mistakes. One thing I've learned is that, let's see, from a trading execution perspective, I was pretty inflexible with my entries. I wanted a very deep pullback into deep fair value gaps into at least 50% or higher of those pullbacks. And perhaps it would make more sense to, instead of taking those 50% entries, just take the touch of a fair value gap instead of a full, deep, massive pullback of a fair value gap, if that makes sense. So perhaps on the next round, our next account, we make one small adaptation to the strategy of not waiting just for a 50%, but like wherever the fair value gap is, as soon as it touches that fair value gap, we're getting in. It may mean we have slightly larger stop losses, but it could also eliminate some of those swerves that we experienced quite a bit of those swerves. So that may be a small, slight adjustment. That's not a massive adjustment to the trading plan overall. It's just a small tweak based on how price, continued to play out over time. That could be what we make an adjustment going on. But beyond that, I think everything just stays the same and stays in place. Like, I don't think we need to make a ton of different changes. I don't think we need to make a lot yeah, I mean, I think everything just basically stays the same. You don't jump and change your strategy after a couple months of drawdown. You don't just go back to the drawing board and start over and just change everything because you just lost an account. I have months and months and months of data, of trading data on this strategy. And I know long term where my focus needs to be. And as soon as I start trying to be like, oh well, this just didn't work for 3 months, you should just do something else, do something different. That's what unprofitable traders, those are the decisions that they continue to make. And they go into a new challenge and they go to a new strategy, and then they might have a few winning trades, but then they get into a losing streak, or they get into drawdown, and everything just falls apart again. So that's kind of that's the trap that a lot of unprofitable traders get into, is they just bail on their strategy when they have the statistics and the probabilities that play out over a long period of time. Those are the ones that stay stuck and stay not being able to get funded, because they keep changing and jumping around from strategy to strategy, strategy to strategy. So that's why nothing's really going to change for me. It's just going to stay the same. We will. The only thing that might change is the introduction of other potential entries beyond the breaker block. But those, I haven't decided if I'm going to actually incorporate those or not. So we'll see. It's all TBD, really. The only thing I know is that I'm not going anywhere. The stream's going to stick around just because I lost the funded account. Doesn't change anything. I'm not going to get depressed. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get just really anything. It is what it is. Lost the funded account. Oh well. This is part of the process. I will spend another $100. The last $100 I spent to start this challenge netted a 800% return. So money well invested, and lasted for 4 months. And so here we go. We'll for almost 5 months now. So we'll do it again, load it back up, and we'll stack. We'll keep trying to stack these accounts and get to max funding. And it's still possible to do that all within the end of the year time frame. The seasonality will come into play. Not that we've had great trends in the last month. So it's not necessarily a seasonality thing for me. It's really just the executions just haven't played out the way statistically they have in the past. So the life of Brian, yeah. Incontinent buttocks. Splash Mountain in Disney World is based off of Song of the South until recently, when they completely redid it, but basing it off of Princess and the Frog. Yeah, Disney tries to clean up their past, supposed horrible past, because culture demands that they erase all of those horrible stories that they would tell. All right, coming into the close of this 30-minute candle, and it's definitely, unless we get a massive reaction here, it's going to violate this fair value gap, which quite honestly you could use as an inverted fair value gap. That is one part. That's a strategy that I have been testing, is the inverted fair value gap entries, wherein once a fair value gap gets violated, as soon as it returns to it, you take your entry. And you could do a 1 to 2, you could do a 1 to 1.5, whatever. This is part of the strategy that I've been testing here is inverted fair value gaps. When a liquidity level has been left in place and a fair value gap gets traded through, it often, when it should hold price down, it does not. Then you can anticipate it as a reversal area for price to continue to respect it as it comes back down to it. So any pullback down into that 30-minute fair value gap, you would expect price to rocket up at least into this buy side liquidity and probably into this order block level here. What I'm working on right now is what's the RR that is most profitable here. 1.5 is decent. 1.2 obviously is nice. 1.3, you don't get as many winners, but you, So I'm trying to work out the risk reward ratio. What's the best risk reward ratio to use? And what time frame do you look at for your inverted fair value gaps? Which ones are most effective and hold up the strongest? So all part of the strategy that I'm testing currently. Is the inverted fair value gap what Owen's been using? I don't know. I haven't talked directly with Owen a lot about what his strategy is. I do remember seeing something in Discord potentially about that. He just briefly talked about 15-minute time frame, perhaps with inverted fair value gaps and OTEs or something. I don't know. Oh gosh. I'm looking forward to taking a mid-morning nap today. It's going to be nice. Oh, if he said IFVGs, those are inverted fair value gaps for sure. And, when you're looking at them, you kind of have to think about which ones, like how far over to the left do you look for an inverted fair value gap to work? And it depends on what time frame you're using. The time frame you're using should be what clues you in on that. Coming into the 8:30 open here. And we should see at the start of this 30-minute candle, we should get popped out. Or I should get popped out. Oh. Yeah, the 30-minute candle violated the fair value gap. So now if you get a push down, I would look for that inverted fair value gap to be where you see price respect and then send prices higher here on GJ. I would not anticipate a reversal here. I'm going to try and stay on until this stop loss gets hit, but a very hot South Africa. What is very hot in South Africa? And good afternoon, Bakong. Welcome in. What is very hot? What's the temp over there? Coming back down into the top of that fair value gap, so I would watch and see if it touches it. That's where you would want to see your entry to go long. And then again, I would anticipate bare minimum, I think it comes back up into this order block here, runs this buy side liquidity. That is the spot where you're going to see price flip around. There, it just touched that fair value gap. And you get your little reaction off of there. And now you should see price rally pretty decently here up into this buy side liquidity. Ugh. If the dollar can take out the London high and continue to move higher, you would anticipate GU coming down, but I just don't see that happening. You can see that fair value gap tested there now on that entry and pushing price up off of it. It's frustrating when you get triggered in and there's no, like it never, ever goes into profit. Like it just gets triggered in and you never see blue numbers. You just see red the whole time. Oh, gosh. That late night is catching up, man. I'm feeling it, even with the coffee. I don't want to manifest it, but what happens if you lose the 100K? Is it all over? The 100K is all over. Yes. The stream is not over. No, we will just reload a 10K account and we'll start the whole process back at ground zero and start going from there. My anticipation is that that's exactly what's going to happen. Is tomorrow we will start with a brand new 10K account, and we'll have everything reset to zero, and we'll go from there. Start a new win streak, get rid of this losing streak, and be done. 33 degrees Celsius. I'm drinking water like crazy. $91. That's 91 Fahrenheit. That's not. I mean, yeah, anything 90 is hot. I mean, comparatively here in Houston, we've just come out of an August and September where we were averaging 99 to 101 every day. So with like 70%, 80% humidity on top of that. Miserable. Absolutely miserable. So I do feel for you. 91 is hot. But But we got you beat, man. We are just like yesterday was the lowest temperature day we've had in Houston in like 3 months, and the high was 91. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's so nice out. The crazy thing is that we're in October and the season changes pretty rapidly here. This week, the rest of the week, the highs, like through Friday, the highs are like 86. And then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, they're saying the highs are like 78. I cannot freaking wait. Cannot freaking wait. Here's that 30-minute retest fair value gap. We're now digging into that inverted fair value gap here on the 30-minute time frame. We traded through it, disrespected as it comes down into it. You can now anticipate those inverted fair value gaps to act as support in this case. Once it's traded through and violated as it comes back. Just if this were a daily chart, this is exactly what I'd be looking for. A daily fair value gap to be violated as it comes back down into this daily fair value gap. You would anticipate price to run higher, and that's what you can then drop down into these lower time frames, and you see this repeated over and over and over again. Price is fractal. If it happens on one time frame, it's going to happen on another time frame as well. So this is where you would, if you were, waiting, like you didn't have a bias, you can just wait for price to violate a fair value gap from the London trading session or the New York trading session, or just identify where the fair value gap is that you're anticipating to hold price down. And then once it's violated, you can jump in on the other side of that trade and identify a pool of liquidity or a PD array like an order block or an OTE or a fair value gap or premium discount level to target for your TP. Very simple strategy. The more simple the strategies are, the easier they are to replicate and to execute. And then it's just probabilities and a large trading size sample size. Sorry. Once you have those numbers, you just go from there and you just rinse and repeat every single day. No emotions, no attachments. Just let the market play out and do what it's going to do. Yeah, Stone, we're in a trade. We're in a GJ trade that's not going well currently. In my hometown, we averaged about 41 to 42 in August. Now that seems 42 is what, 107. Jeez. Yeah, now that's more like what we were experiencing in August, was around 105 to 100. Like my daughter lives in College Station, and they were consistently like 106 to 109 for pretty much all of August and September. Where we live down here close to the Gulf Coast in the Houston area, south of Houston, we do get it does cool off a little bit more just because we're so close to the Gulf, and we get the breeze coming up from the Gulf a little bit more. It's still freaking hot, but that also just brings in a ton of more humidity as well. And the humidity makes it just oppressive when you go outside. Absolutely. It feels like you're just living and walking around in a sauna. Not only do you have the heat, but you have that humidity, that water, that moisture, and it just is brutal. It doesn't matter how many showers you take, you're just sweating. As soon as you walk outside, you just sweat because you can't, nothing can dry. There's so much moisture in the air, your body's hot, so it sweats, but the sweat just stays there because it can't evaporate. So $107's damn hot and pretty miserable. Oh. I'm just getting over to Discord where you guys are blowing up my, reminding me that you can't hear anything. What a great way to start the day. Owen went long on EU this morning and I think he got stopped out. Yeah. First and last trade of the week. It's NFP week. Yeah, NFP week is we could be getting some. Oh, dollar's trying to take out the London high there. Just did. Euro dollar not following suit just yet. It's still got a little bit of work to do. So the dollar finding some strength here as we head into the 7:30 half hour. But pound is not finding the weakness it needs. I like looking for price action to sweep a significant high, then reverse, enter with a sell buy stop, a failed breakout. Yeah, so that's kind of that's a good strategy. I'm going to see if I can find this picture of some entries that kind of explain ICT. I thought explained ICT really well. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Go away. I'm going to airdrop it to this computer. There we go. And then I'm going to throw this up because I think this is a great way to look at the different ways that you can enter a trade. Here we go. Perfect. All right. I'm going to need to minimize this a little bit and I can put this up here. Let me blow this up. There we go. I saw this on Instagram, and I cannot remember who it was that I saw this on. Let me, can you see all, no, you can't see all that. I got to move it over here. All right. So so here we go. These are the different ways to enter. This is kind of smart money concepts, ICT. These are the three basic ways to enter smart money concepts. Don't mind it says short-term low. This could be a higher time frame as well. But let's say your bias is bullish in this instance. Okay, you have a bullish bias. You're waiting, much like I do. I say this all the time. You're going to wait for price to go in the opposite direction of your bias. Okay, so if we're anticipating prices to come higher, we're going to wait for a run of prices to go lower. We're going to wait for it to take out a point of interest, and this is labeled a short-term low. It doesn't have to be labeled short-term low. It could be higher time frame point of interest, just accumulation, manipulation, whatever the liquidity level is, right? You want to see liquidity being taken in the opposite direction of your bias. This is entry number one. This is a anticipation. It's called turtle soup. It's called false breakout, whatever you want to call it. You're getting in knowing price is going to go higher. Anytime it starts to take out liquidity to the opposite side, you're going to buy. So this is entry one. As soon as it starts taking out liquidity, you start buying it. That's a very low risk entry. The second entry would be as it comes back into this level here, any return back down into that level, an order block, a fair value gap right here in this level, inside of the old low or old liquidity level, anywhere inside of there, that's where you're going to take entry number two. And then the entry number three is the breaker block, wherein it displaces through, comes back to a fair value gap, an order block, a breaker block, and then heads up higher. So I use the breaker block. This is like the third confirmation that price is heading in my direction. We had a run of liquidity. I didn't take the turtle soup entry. I didn't take the order block entry. I wanted to see the breaker be disrespected with displacement. then get in on a retest of that breaker with a fair value gap in there. So these are the three different ways. John was just saying he likes to trade a failure of the breakout. So this is kind of where John would be looking to get in, is on this second entry here, where there's a failed breakout, there's a move back up, and then he comes back in here on that failed breakout retest and tries to run price up to where his objective is. You could flip this around for a sell side, but these are the three main entries, very simple entries. If you have a higher time frame objective, that your bias, your higher time frame bias, wherever that is, when you see price start heading in the opposite direction, you start buying. That's entry one. Entry two is once this move fails and you get displacement back inside and above the old liquidity level, you could take a entry there. And then you have your third entry, my confirmation entry, the breaker block with a fair value gap nested inside of there to run higher. So those are the three main ways, very, very simplified. It doesn't show you where the fair value gap is. It doesn't show you what an order block looks like. This is just theory of how price moves and the three different places you could look for entries to get involved to your higher time frame objective. I love that graph. That's every now and then you run across some pictures or drawings or something that it just clicks with you. And that was one I saw and I was like, very simple, very clean, very easy to understand. And maybe that was helpful for you guys too. That inverted fair value gap, as anticipated, pushing price higher. And we should see price aggressively run through that buy side liquidity now. The dollar took out the overnight London low here and immediately rejected, grabbing that overnight low, high of the day Tuesday London, and now high of the day New York. Low of the day London, and currently low of the day New York, right here underneath this swing level. So the GU trade was definitely the cleaner. Fair value gap holding up on the 30-minute still, and the 15-minute one right up here as well, also holding. But I don't anticipate that to continue. If this fails, I would be looking overnight for price to come down maybe into these levels here in that 4-hour order block that we identified on dollar earlier. And any move down into this 4-hour order block overnight, I would be looking for opportunities to buy dollar, sell foreigns if price gets a retrace here on the dollar. This Aussie dollar breaker almost got tapped into right there. Not quite. GJ just continuing to dramatically delay the inevitable here. Frustrating watching that. Oh. What's not an ICT concept? Bollinger Bands, EMAs, VWAP. And whether you use call them order blocks or fair value gaps, or whether you call them failed breakouts, whether you call them, I don't know, whatever candle patterns you like to call them. I mean, it doesn't matter what you call them, honestly. It's just price moving from liquidity to liquidity, and how you're going to try to find, if your job is to try to reliably predict where price wants to move to, and then have some kind of an entry technique, strategy, pattern that you use to get into the market. A lot of discretionary traders, they don't have a pattern. If they think price is going to a certain area, they just buy it or sell it wherever they think price is most likely to turn around, and they just discretionarily enter the market. And most people are just very, very poor because your timing can be off, your stop loss can be huge. When you're trading with prop firms, it's not a great way to consistently make money with that stuff. So, oh jeez. Oh. So let's see, what's today? Today's Tuesday. The what else do we have for our economic calendar? We've got that job opening number coming out in about an hour for dollar stuff. Wednesday, we've got ADP, non-farm employment change numbers at 8:15 tomorrow. So even if we get a new account running tomorrow, I probably wouldn't trade, because you didn't have 10 a.m. ISM services. You have Thursday unemployment claims, and then Friday you have NFP. So even if I were to reload a 10K account tomorrow, very likely I'm not going to take a trade the rest of this week. With unemployment claims, non-farm employment change, and NFP all happening Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even if I get load a new 10K account up, I'm probably not taking a trade until next week. Next week, what's on the news calendar? Let's take a peek. No news on Monday. No news on Tuesday. FOMC, we have PPI on Wednesday, so that'll be a big day. Plus FOMC meeting minutes in the afternoon on Wednesday. Next Thursday, you have more CPI numbers, so that's going to be a massive volatility day. And then Friday, you've got the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. So Wednesday and Thursday next week. Monday and Tuesday, likely consolidation. Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to get massive wicks up and down, possibly to both sides. And then Friday, you might have a healthy move in one direction for sentiment. So we'll have to be Monday and Tuesday. You might be able to find a trade. Maybe, I'm guessing, consolidation Monday and Tuesday next week. That's just my gut feeling. Inverted fair value gap, hold it up strong. It's got 5 more minutes. Ugh. A body closure above that, again, would just cement my opinion that this inverted fair value gap will, as that next hourly candle opens, shoot price higher. And I think as this next hourly candle opens, I'm probably going to go ahead and call it for the live stream today. The Stone says, why do you think it is that the trading strat had such a big drawdown these past 2 months? I don't know. Every strategy has drawdown. Every strategy has seasons where it's not as clean and it does not work as well. And you go through losing streaks. So I don't necessarily have a definitive reason why. It's the summer months. That was part of the reason. There were periods of tight consolidation. Partly we called right moves, but we just didn't get our entries and we got swerved, and the move was the accurate move. The trade was the right trade. The call was the right call. We just didn't get triggered in. So it just happens. You're not going to get your entries every time. We had several periods where we just got swerved. In the next couple months, we could have several weeks where we get every single entry and we hit 3 or 4 take profits in a row. So either way, it all is just what it is. And yeah, I mean, there doesn't have to be a reason why for a certain period of time, your strategy does not work the way you anticipate. So, we all want certainty as humans. We want to be able to point to something and go, that's why that happened. When you're trading, you don't ever have that. You never have that point to this thing on the screen and say, that's why that happened. And the more you try to hunt that and find that, the more frustrated you're going to get. And you're going to keep jumping from strategy to strategy. This strategy didn't work for a month and a half, so I'm going to jump and I'm going to switch to a new strategy. And if you had just stuck with it and stayed consistent with your execution, you would realize that next 90 days was the turnaround. And had you just waited it out a little bit longer, everything would have been fine. Oh, it's definitely not an ICT concept. He can claim that it is and call it turtle soup, and I can also claim to invent the forward pass and call it the downfield delivery. GeoFX, these live chats are helpful. What lot size do you use on a 10K challenge? The lot size changes with every trade because I risk 2% per trade. And depending on where my stop loss is placed is what determines what lot size I use. So the lot size calculator I have on MT5, that's what I use. And it determines my lot size based on where my stop loss is. But it's typically around 1 lot-ish, 1.2 lots, something like that. Like on a euro-dollar trade, it's like one something lot. On this pound trade, I think it would have been like 0.7 lots had I had a 10K account, because the 100K is 7.2 lots right now on this 100K. Coming to the close here, another 15 seconds. And it's closing outside of that 30-minute fair value gap. So, yeah, I would definitely think as this hourly candle opens, we just get a run of that high, the last hourly candle's high, and then we can put this whole thing out to pasture. 9 o'clock hour, you're going to get a wick down. It opens, pushes down, probably put in a lower wick, and then you'll get your push up there. Pound Aussie's taken out, made a new high for the day, taking out buy side liquidity. Again, this weekly fair value gap, you could see price fill this completely in on Pound Aussie before you get that rollover. It ran up to it and it's just been chopping away, slow grind up. So you're going to want to, until you see displacement lower here on Pound Aussie, you're just going to stand on the sidelines and not do anything. UJ coming back down into its range. GJ not. Again, this 30-minute fair value gap violated, came back through, respected as an inverted fair value gap, closed out above it. You're getting a push down one more time into that inverted fair value gap. And this is where you would anticipate price rallying higher into the buy side liquidity from this level. All I need to go and pick my boy up from school, so see y'all tomorrow. Good luck. Thanks, Mr. Alfie. We will be back on the live stream tomorrow. Good lesson in patience. Yes, I use 1%. Depends on your system and frequency of trades. Yeah, if you have the data, don't risk more than 0.5% to 1% per trade, unless you have your entry and your trading execution until you have at least 100 trades in a live market, so that you can find out what your losing streaks are, what your reward ratio, risk reward ratio truly is, what your win rate is, what you're losing, all those things. Until you have 100 trades in the live market, you should not ever be risking more than 0.5% to 1% per trade. See you, John. Have a good one. I'm about to check out too, guys. So I'm going to watch the rest of this trade get wiped out off the stream. So tomorrow probably we'll have a new 10K challenge loaded up. Once this thing hits our stop loss, I'll go in and load up a new 10K. I'll post it all in Discord so you guys can see and follow along as well. But you guys stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to probably go back to sleep. And this thing's probably going to hit my stop loss while I'm in dreamland. So you guys stay safe, happy hunting, and we will catch you all in the morning. Adios, guys.